Hey guys, I'm Bella with El Paso, and I'm here with Dr. Colby Genrich. He is a doctor over at Texas Tech Health El Paso, and we're going to be talking a little bit about a medical myth that we might want busted right now. So I've seen a lot online about this carnivore diet where you basically just eat steak and sticks of butter. How does that affect your health, and is it something that people should be doing?
Sure. So, like anything in diet counseling and in medicine, there's a balance. So, certainly with a carnivore diet, when you're just eating the meat and the sticks of butter, weight loss is probable. You're probably going to lose maybe 5% of your weight. However, that's potentially at a cost because you're not taking in other nutrients like vitamins that are essential for our daily activities, vitamin C and magnesium and folate and things like that. So, certainly is a reasonable way to start losing some weight. You gain a tremendous amount of protein, you break down some fats as a result and lose weight, but there are some consequences, again, like anything in medicine.
Oh, absolutely. And how does this affect people's levels of cholesterol over time?
So the jury is still out on exactly what happens to the body when they're eating just a carnivore diet. However, there are some small studies that show that the LDL, the bad cholesterol in the body, goes up a bit just because you're ingesting all those animal fats and you're not taking in any fiber. So that's a risk. That's a cardiovascular risk with an increased LDL. However, a lot of these things too are not on the individual level. So there's some individuals that are on a carnivore diet that actually their LDL levels go down.
And you talk a little bit about a balanced diet. What percentage of these vitamins and nutrients are we looking for in a well-rounded diet?
So good question. So, fruits and vegetables are honestly well balanced with vitamin C and folate and manganese and magnesium and potassium. They're well balanced. So you're actually not going to overdose or underdose if you're just eating an apple or a banana. Obviously, if your diet is only bananas or only protein or only animal fats, then the body's going to be out of that homeostasis and out of balance. So a well-balanced diet, and the literature right now recommends something like a Mediterranean diet where you have polyunsaturated fats with olive oil, lean meats like fish, and then maybe the occasional carbohydrate with a well-made pasta or something like that with tomatoes. So a well-balanced diet is necessary, and that will balance out all those necessary vitamins, the ones that I mentioned.
Right. And I said that this was like new to TikTok, but how long has this carnivore diet been around? And are they doing studies to see whether or not this is something that can be carried on long term?
So it's probably been going on since humans were around. So we were hunters and gatherers, hunters primarily. So we existed on primarily meats and things that we hunted. And so the carnivore diet probably has been around for thousands and thousands of years, and it's done us pretty well. We're, as a species, doing pretty well. However, the research, again, like you mentioned, is really scant. So there are some small studies, again, that show some vitamin deficiencies on people who are on the carnivore diet. And that has been sort of borne out in the literature, and also just some individual accounts of how people are feeling and blood work that they've had done. However, again, you can lose a tremendous amount of weight on it. So,
absolutely. And we talked a little bit about nutrient deficiency, but how does this affect people's digestion? I know that a lot of people may not respond very well to meat, or if we're talking about sticks of butter, dairy. How does this carnivore diet affect that sort of thing?
Sure. So, our biome in our gut has normally proliferating bacteria that help digest foods, particularly fiber. And when our diets are really low in fiber, those bacteria go away. They're not in an environment that ferments that particular fiber, and our digestion just is not as strong as a result. And so it does change the biome, the makeup of those bacteria. And as a result, some people get some GI upset if they're just eating protein and animal fats, whereas those that have a more balanced diet have that fiber. They're fermented by the bacteria in our gut, and it helps kind of digestion move along a little bit. So there are accounts, again, kind of individual accounts, not big double-blind studies, that show that constipation can be a result of this carnivore diet or eating animal fats only without having that fiber offset with fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely. Well, if you guys want to stay regular, then maybe go toward a more balanced diet. We ask doctors these questions every week to bust these medical myths. Make sure to tune in next week to see what else we've asked. Ark El Paso is going to be right back after this break.